Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the Jeff Cameron Show. When do I inform you of this? I'll tell you in a second. I'm Jeff. That is not Tom. That's my buddy John doing the producing in an emergency mode. You can't see him. Don't worry about it. I'll explain in a second. On Twitter, it's at J Cameron Show. If you're driving about town listening live on 93.3 FM Real Talk Radio, you are, in fact, supporting Tallahassee's only locally owned and operated radio station, and good on you for it. We support local. Thanks to you for supporting local. If you're watching on Warchant TV, that's local too. Good call. Good call. Appreciate you supporting the YouTube feed as well. File on in, everybody. Make your way on into the chat. I'm here for you today. We could be busy together today. So we start the show. Let me assure you everything's okay. But 5 minutes ago, T. Lizzie calls me and it's like, yo, man, yeah, I'm not going to be able to produce the show. What a week, huh? I'm not going to be able to produce the show because I just got into a car accident. And I immediately said, what? He goes, yeah, I'm right down the road. I just got into a fairly major car accident. And I said, are you okay? He sounded a little flustered and said, yeah, I think I'm okay, but I just got hit by an emergency vehicle. And so anyhow, car apparently totaled. He's fine. No Tom Lang. We're going old school. It's me. It's me. This is the way it began. This is how I way back when I would do hours on end. Just yours truly. We'll dust off the pipes and roll on Big River. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be at Hotel Indigo as we're wont to do. That will take place at 4 o'clock for the night game. And so it was that we will conclude the regular season. Did you feel any sort of way when you got up today knowing that that was it? That this is the last one? It kind of snuck up on us, didn't it? It snuck up on us. It's like, I don't know why. I mean, obviously I can see the damn schedule. I know that this is it. That's all. And yet, I'm looking at it and going, well, we don't have any more games. Well, we do, but just not here. And that kind of sucks. I feel unsatisfied. It's not about me. I think my representation or that descriptor fits many of you, right? Right about now. It doesn't feel like what we didn't satiate anything. That has to do with the lack of wins, but I think it also has to do with the fact that, damn it, man. I know, Tony, 4-5 will do that to you, Jeff. I got you, baby. But I think it's also because the first time we walked into that stadium this year, God, think back on it now, given that this is the last home game. Think back on it. Think of the mood you were in and the way that you thought about the upcoming season and the apprehension and the nerves. And it was sort of, you wanted to, I remember thinking as I walked into that stadium is, hey, I really want to see whether or not Florida State got it right. Did they get, I started with the premise that, man, I really doubt that they did. I've been disappointed and frustrated in the past by some things. And I thought it would be better, but I didn't realize it was going to be such a home run. And I made sure that right after that game, in addition to talking about the win over Alabama, that we thoroughly vetted and made mention of the fact that I was wrong, that, they did a great job. The Florida State ushered the modern era of convenience and amenities in with seemingly the greatest of ease. Everything operated very well. All of the luxury areas, but also the concourses and really every part of the stadium that I visited that day was a home run. And so that was your initial thought as you walked in there was, hey, man, how about this? It's roomy, it's modern, it's convenient, the seats are better, everything about this seems about right. Now let's find out, are we going to be able to keep the noise? Is it going to be a true home field advantage? Does Florida State actually have what it used to have? I know capacity being decreased had a lot of people very concerned, had a lot of people upset, had a lot of people frustrated, had a lot of people angry. And, just solely looking at totals, looking at like, well, we're going from, my goodness gracious, we've gone from 80-something thousand down to 83,000 down to 78,000. And it's like, hey, for everybody that went on the ride for the stadium renovations of yesteryear, like I did, like many of you did, some of you go back much further than me. You can remember all the open air. You can remember we all do the erector set, and we can remember when they began to enclose those end zones and do those things that successful programs do. And you went along for that ride. So the thought of decreasing kind of bothered you. I only noted that, by the way, that is the trend. That is the trend most places. Excuse me. And so now I got to cough. Of course I do. Cut my mic momentarily, John. Okay, we're good now. Goodness gracious. Of course, that happens on a day where we're running crazy. Anyhow, so I understood it, but I got past that immediately and thought, here we go. All right. They did a good job. And then I wanted to see how out it would get, and it did. And then we played well, and then we put ourselves in a position to win, and then we did win. And so you could not have hit a bigger home run. You could not have nailed it. You could not have done what we did in that way. It was incredible. And I think that's the reason for this frustration as we sit here today, the day before the final home game. Because I left that stadium, I remember walking out into the concourse. I sat in the stands with my father. I sat with both my boys and my father, and it was incredible. And we walked down that concourse, and I ran into so many of my fellow Noles, ran into so many friends and strangers. Everybody was a friend that night, right? And if I hugged you and you didn't know me, forgive me, because I hugged everybody. I hugged everybody walking out of that stadium. I think we all were just in a hugging kind of mood. And you thought, well, holy Jesus, it may happen. It may be that we get all of this turned around. Oh, but alas, boys and girls. Oh, but alas. And it was impossible to know because the next two home games were that of thoroughly overly matched opponents. And you just thought, okay, well, we're in a good place. We're going to be all right. Things are going to go okay. We may exceed expectations, but we have not exceeded in the season. If we talk about the actual games Saturday night, you'd like to believe we could end this season with 2 straight home victories in the ACC, given the blight and the dearth of these victories. You want to be able to celebrate back-to-back home wins to close out your season in the ACC, at least in terms of home games. And frankly, Virginia Tech is a team that if you stop the run, if you show up and you're physical and you care at all, you should have an opportunity to win the football game going away in a similar vein that you did the Wake Forest game. I think they can do that. It feels at times a little empty to delve into the nuts and bolts of this game. Tom and I will in the third hour, as it will also be part of the pregame show, Warchant Game Day. We will look into the X's and O's. I did a lot of deep diving into Virginia Tech today, which was, you can see why their season has been disappointing. But the great irony is, and the great frustration is that, all right, well, as disappointed as I may be, and Virginia Tech fans may be, guess who's looking up at Virginia Tech in the standings? Us. And that it robs you. Again, it frustrates you because you can't just keep your eye on the prize for a given game. You can't just have a day where you go into that stadium, appreciate Doak and the changes and the renovations, appreciate being around friends and family. You can appreciate friends and family. You should always do that. I think we all know that. But your mind wanders to, where is this headed? And when will we know? You slowly draw back and kind of start to consider the enormity of, what probably has to happen here. And it's so frustrating. It is so aggravating to have to deal with that year over year. It's not a pity party. Nobody feels sorry for FSU. Obviously, the Noles, for the better part of 40 years, we're an elite program. And that is why most people either have a love-hate relationship with Florida State. If you're part of it, if you grew up here, you grew up a Nole, you root for Florida State, you went to school here, you're a booster, you're an alumni, you're a fan of the team in any way, shape, or form, you love and have a passion for the Garnet and Gold and the tradition and the successes, their wonderful memories that we share, and that we have a shared moment over a cold beer or wherever it is we run into each other talking about this player or this game or that game and this victory and that victory. And if you're not, you hate it. You hate Florida State because they were so good for so long. And it's why when they're bad, everywhere you look, it is certainly pointed out. But you wouldn't have it any other way. Problem is, we're getting to a place where folks aren't as vitriolic as they once were. They aren't as vociferous in their critiques of Florida State as they once were. It's almost like they're beginning to pity Florida State. When you're a team that doesn't weigh in to the outcome of the ACC race, when you're a team that doesn't affect the national picture in a way that you surely would have thought you could after knocking off Alabama, people just don't talk about you much. They don't have a lot to say. And that can never be. Apathy's dangerous. I wonder how apathetic it'll feel around this stadium tomorrow. We're going to have great weather for it. Night games at Doak always used to be special. Always used to be special, but they're kind of a hold-your-breath moment now. We'll see. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. We'll make the best of it today. No T. Lizzie. I'm going to find out right now just how safe and well he is after a car accident on the way in. Get to jogging, Tom. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
And here come the leaves, thousands of them, falling fast, covering every inch of the yard. But wait, who's this rushing in? It's the Lawn Johns with the ultimate fall cleanup blitz. From clearing leaves to fresh pine straw and mulch, the Lawn Johns dominate the field, your yard, so you can focus on what matters. Grilling, chilling, and cheering on your team. Don't let leaves sack your game day fun. Call the Lawn Johns today and win the battle of the backyard. The Lawn Johns. Your lawn, our game.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachian Parkway.
The 2025 hurricane season is here. Are your gutters and drains up for the challenge? If not, now's the time to call New Vision Gutters. Your trusted local team that keeps water out, no matter what the skies throw at you. Full service from top to bottom for gutter repairs, gutter installs, leaf and debris guards, drainage fixes. We handle it all. Don't wait for the next big storm to find out you've got a problem. Call locally owned New Vision Gutters today. We keep our minds in the gutters, so you don't have to. Online at newvisiongutters.com.
Hey, let me tell you about my friends at Tried and True Consulting, a Seminole-owned business that specializes in payments and business solutions. Tried and True's core expertise includes card, ACH, point of sale, mobile, e-commerce, and hosted payment solutions. Tried and True will help you reduce costs and increase your bottom line. That always sounds nice. Whether you're a retailer, restaurant, licensed professional, or service industry, Tried and True is saving you money. Tried and True's expertise extends to payroll, video menu ad boards, IT services, web design, and social media. It's time to make one call and tell the competition to take it on down the road. Call Don or Joe today at 844-464-6653. That's 844-464-6653. When you do business with Tried and True, they contribute 10% of the net revenue to the Battle's End. So go Tried and True today. Call 844-464-6653.
Welcome to Fen Chiropractic. What in the world happened to you?
Well, it was Thanksgiving, and it started out normal. We had deep-fried turkey, lukewarm beer, and a political debate that escalated into a deviled egg fight. Then Cousin Daryl said the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. And boom, there's folding chairs flying. Somebody tried to suplex Uncle Roy right through the buffet table.
Oh, my Lord.
Then Grandma pulled out her old wrestling belt and said, let's settle this in the yard. That's when Hank stepped in. Hanky Panky, my emotional support alligator. He tail whipped the potato salad in the neighbor's yard and stared down my brother-in-law to stop the yelling, and then he calmly slid into the hot tub like nothing happened.
So, how did you get hurt?
I got hurt when I tried to high-five Hank. I slipped on a gravy boat and I landed on the lawn gnome.
Family drama, holiday injuries, or gator-related back pain? Get adjusted at Fen Chiropractic. Visit fenchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com.
Just like family, your chiropractor loves you and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage, and today I want to talk straight with you about debt, especially high interest rate credit cards, and why you shouldn't just sit there and hope the situation will fix itself. Nationwide, the average credit card interest rate is hovering around 21% or higher. The total revolving credit card debt in the U.S. is over $1 trillion and rising. If you're carrying a credit card balance, you're likely paying hundreds of dollars each month just in interest, without even touching your principal. But here's the good news. You can act. What I help folks do is refinance their home or use a home loan strategy to consolidate high interest debt into something with a much lower interest rate and one payment. It puts you in control. So if you own a home or you're buying one, let's talk about turning your house into a tool so you can stop the credit card interest trap and you can stop feeling like you're paying lots without making progress. Go to loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com, and let's get you on a smarter financial path and get out of the high interest grind.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 75. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies again tonight. Lows dip down to about 46. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. Highs level off around 77. Mainly clear and dry Sunday and Monday with highs in the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 74.
Libations Friday, loosey-goosey, and a day to celebrate always, because we get the chance to bring in Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, steady kicking ass. That's what Lee does, and we have him on every week to talk about it. We have for 20 freaking years, more than that. Yeah. How old are we? Lee Sterling, how are you, sir?
Good morning. You know, and what's crazy is you have listeners all over the country. So I had someone sign up from Pennsylvania who listens to your show daily.
Oh, cool.
This week, and someone from California. So, I mean, you're reaching all the way up north and all the way out west. I mean, all we need now is someone from Hawaii. And You might Hawaii, maybe Wyoming. You got a listener?
I got 2 Hawaiian listeners that I know of, or people that live in Hawaii anyhow, because they come and visit us all the time. They'll come to a game or two, and we do a pregame show, leave from Hotel Indigo in town across the street from the stadium. It's on the 7th floor overlooking the field.
So Hotel Indigo, Drew McLeod, who runs the restaurant.
I know Drew McLeod really well, yeah.
Drew went to high school with middle school with me. We went to the same high school.
Wow, that's awesome. I've known Drew forever. He's on many restaurants in Tallahassee. That's for sure.
Is he still at Hotel Indigo or no?
I don't think so. I think he's doing other restaurants right now. Okay. I see Drew about town. He's got his hands in a lot of things. So
if you see him,
I'll bring you up.
Send him a pic. So I had my high school mate. It's now called Palmer Trinity. They're the Falcons. We were the Palmer Pirates, green and gold.
I'll reach out to Drew. I have him on my phone. I'll reach out to him. We can do it. Sure. All right, let's get to some games.
We're Facebook friends, so I know he's one of the top chefs around Tallahassee. I know that.
Yeah, he's done a great job. Yeah. Louisville and Clemson tonight. And, I think on paper it looks like a close game. I don't know. I can't read Clemson ever. We're not any good, or else we could have beat Clemson last week. It was there for the taking. Louisville shocked us all with the loss that they had. They basically have to win out. They're in deep trouble. Yep. Would you lay the 3 tonight?
It's down to 2.5. I would. Now, only one of the Browns can play at running back. The best running back is out. So someone's going to have to step up and get 5, 7, 8 carries to help out them there in the running game. But Jeff Brom, he's one of the best play callers out there. He's going to have to come up with some stuff against Clemson. But Clemson's defense giving up 35 to SMU. 46 to Duke, 34 earlier in the year to Syracuse is an outlier also. Louisville's defense, they got to step up. Their defensive line's good, but they did not come to play last week. I think the crowd is going to be big-time factor. They're doing radio shows from inside the stadium already this morning, and there's people outside. So I think the home field is going to be an advantage. Sometimes on Friday nights, you guys have had to go against Virginia a couple times. I like Louisville. Should be a fun game, but I think they win and cover 30-24. I can't trust Clemson. I think Dabo is going to I think he's going to work out a buyout. Could he go to Florida, Auburn, maybe LSU?
I might lean Auburn more than that. Yeah, it would be interesting to see. He does talk like a coach who doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
he insults the fans a lot. He talks about how great his resume is. He'll make in passing references to whether or not the athletic director wants to fire him.
Right.
Yeah. So
called a buyout. Called a buyout.
Yeah. By the way, so I got lucky last week, Lee, but boy, was I happy about it. That last touchdown drive from Syracuse to cover the 28.5 made my weekend, buddy, by a half point.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I'm taking NC State getting 14.5. I don't trust Miami to cover anything ever.
I don't either. They lost their best cornerback, number one guy in Pro Football Focus, number 1 cornerback in the country.
Wow.
God, he's done for the year. So I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Miami can score on NC State's 2 linebackers. They make a ton of tackles because everyone else is so bad. I think Miami, obviously, without Fletcher, without their second best receiver, they may not score in the 40s here. CJ Bailey's going to be motivated. Here's a guy that, Miami only started recruiting late, and he told them, "Well, I'm happy here. I'm going to go with my initial commitment here." I like NC State. I think Miami wins 38-30, but NC State covers.
Lee, you reminded me of something that I wanted. You'll remember the player, and it's why I can do it. You talked about the linebackers at NC State that have so many tackles because everybody else is bad. Way back when I was a kid, you remember a linebacker by the name of Broderick Thomas?
Oh, yeah.
Who played at Nebraska and was a first-round pick of the Bucks?
Yeah.
Broderick Thomas would lead the team in tackles every year, and I would tell my friends, they're 7 yards downfield, but he makes those tackles. He would have 20 tackles a game. It would be 2nd and 2 after every first down rush. That's NC State's linebackers.
That's it in a nutshell. You nailed it. Did you I texted you the you look at your text I sent you about
the scandal possibly happening in college football?
Interesting. We might see some officials maybe under scrutiny. That Miami game this year, I had so many against SMU. I had so many texts. I literally thought something was wrong at first before I started opening each text. The line went from Miami a 13-point favorite to Miami just laying 10 to about 2.5 hours before the game. And each of the last 3 years, that same crew was involved in games where Miami came nowhere close to covering.
It's curious. I think certainly one thing that you and I could talk about, and even seriously, Lee, because this is a business that we care about, a business you care about, the best way to ensure the integrity of games is to legalize gambling and regulate it. And they've done that around the country. So when people say, oh, man, I'm worried about this or that, and gambling's causing this. No, gambling's the reason we're finding out about it, because those outlets, any of the sports books, any of the anywhere, the only way that they're allowed to exist and profit is if the public believes in the integrity of what they're betting on. It's in their best interest to ensure that they monitor oddities such as this. So what will happen is we're going to get a lot of curious things that could be coincidence. And we find out after an investigation, it's just coincidence. And other times we're going to find out, oh, we got a problem. So this is it's going to be an interesting next 2 to 3 years. Now that we've legalized it across the board in almost every state, I think you're just going to find out a lot of things. They're not all going to be nefarious, but they are going to be interesting.
And they need to make some changes. I mean, player props.
Oh, you saw you saw the player prop per pitch thing, MLB. They're putting major kibosh on that. I was told recently, politically, there's pressure now on getting rid of some of the player prop stuff. It's too easy, Lee. It's too easy. A guy can just drop a ball. A guy can purposely throw a ball, right? I mean, it's just like it's just too easy.
Right.
FSU's not any good. Thankfully, either is Virginia Tech. Games at home at night. I think this is down to 13.5, 14, somewhere in there. Would you lay it or not?
On paper, it's a great matchup here for Florida State. Both teams want to run the football. FSU's been pretty good at stopping it in all but one outing. I think they're going to get it cranked up here. And what's interesting, this is Virginia Tech's only their third road game. Interesting. So you get to this point in the season, team like Virginia Tech on the road, I can't back them here. And think that Florida State has more to play for last home game, and they maybe show out here. I like Florida State. They double up. Virginia Tech 34-17.
I'll take it. That would be 5-5. Hey, Chargers Jags is a big one, buddy. The Jags have to bounce back after a catastrophic choke job in the fourth quarter that I think ruined their season potentially. It's interesting if you watch Liam Cohen. Tell me if you notice this. It seems to me he is done with Trevor. He is done with Trevor. That body language and that look on his face is of a guy that has looked out there and said, I can't win with you. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, how about the numbers? So they have their fourth in time of possession is Jacksonville on offense. They are number 2 in total plays run, but 25th in yards per play. So tells you, they're
problem.
And they get to the red zone and they just stop cold. Here's what's crazy. I've always said that Pro Football Focus, their ratings sometimes are not great.
Correct.
The Chargers, I've never seen this ever happen since I've been a subscriber to Pro Football Focus. Every single Chargers offensive lineman, all 5 of them, last week graded last or second to last, and they won a game by double digits, which is crazy. Never seen that happen before. Usually when you got offensive linemen grading that poorly, you get blown out. So give the Chargers coaching staff credit here. I'm not saying that Jacksonville's going to the playoffs. This is a tough trip here for the Chargers here. They have some games coming up, tough games. And, going west to East Coast has been tough here. I think this is a field goal game. Jacksonville wins this game here. I think they're going to be able to run some on the Chargers. They pull it off. Not going to be exciting. You can take off and, entertain some people for a quarter. You're not going to miss much. Jacksonville 23-20.
Bills and Bucks, excuse me. Worst thing in the world that happened to the Bucks last week wasn't losing. It was that the Bills got blown out by the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much worse than getting blown out by the Dolphins.
Right.
Puts the Bills in a bad spot. I'm not happy about it. Bucks are still banged up on the road. Bills given 5.5. Give me a reason to hope or tell me you're right, Jeff. The Bills are going to blow the Bucks out.
So the one biggest weakness for Buffalo, they cannot defend that zone blocking off tackle running play. And A-Chain last week over 200 rushing yards. They went net 21 formation, fullback, tailback, and just ran it over and over again. Buffalo could do nothing to stop it. Now, Tampa, if they had Bucky Irvin, I think could be able to exploit it, but he's out. No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. They got to get those guys back here. And Baker just looks frustrated. It's going to be tough here. Josh Allen bouncing back usually happens all the time here after a rough outing. I like Buffalo at home, 28-20. Hate to say it.
I think you're right. The game of the week is a good one. Oklahoma's got a real good defense. They're going to need to play great in order to beat Alabama, who's laying 5.5, 6, depending on where you look. Game of the week. How can folks get it from you, Lee?
Yep. First 5 callers, call 800-400-9741. Give them the game for free. 800-400-9741. Game is on me, and we're rolling. NFL, 31-9 run. Another 4-1 week last week. That's like going 4-1 every week for 8 straight weeks. So you want to hop on board. It's called Lee's NFL Sunday Golden Ticket. $197. You get 5 selections every week for 4 weeks. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
I love it, Lee. You're on fire in the NFL, baby. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. I'll talk to you again next week. Take care.
See you, Jeff. Be safe.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, joins us every Friday. The NFL right now, it's oddly, and this sounds a little crazy, kind of a little easier to get a handle on each week. You're going to have weird upsets. It's the National Football League. I just referenced one. Miami blowing out Buffalo makes no sense. So there are a couple games every week where you go, well, come on, man. But I think because college used to be the one that we ran into the arms of. We used to say about college, well, it's a little bit easier to get a gauge, especially if you hyper-focus on a league and you know that league well. You can take advantages of some market inefficiencies from Vegas, no local knowledge there, that kind of a thing. But the disbursement of talent, and again, how it's harder and harder to tell who's going to be good in college football and who's really elite in college football. When you had those elite teams in the past, you'd see certain matchups and you go, look, this is just going to be a long day. They're going to win by 28 at least. You really don't do it as much as you used to. So you don't fall into the arms of college as the sure thing anymore. I always find 2 or 3 really solid NFL games to zero in on and say, well, this is a matchup problem for days, and here's why. It's also a timing schedule thing. It's gotten a little bit easier to find 3 to 5 NFL games per week right now and have a little bit more success, in my opinion. Chef Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A woman is behind bars after a man was shot in the head on Catawba Street Monday night, according to Tallahassee police. Priscilla Barnes, 24, faces a charge of attempted homicide in connection to the shooting. She made her first court appearance Wednesday, where she was denied bond. Her arrest comes after the incident transpired just before 11 p.m. Monday in the 4000 block of Catawba Street. Barnes and the man were arguing that night just before police said the 24-year-old woman shot the man in the head with a handgun. The bullet did not penetrate the victim's skull, and he remained conscious and alert. Moments later, Barnes called 911 and was detained as soon as officers arrived at the scene. The man was transported to a local hospital where he's expected to survive. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Ample sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 75. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies again tonight. Lows dip down to about 46. Bright sunshine expected tomorrow. Highs level off around 77. Mainly clear and dry Sunday and Monday with highs in the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. currently 74.
Is your septic system talking? Well, when it hits the fan, it's no fun at all. And if it comes up from the ground just bubbling out of your land, man, you can guarantee that definitely ain't Texas tea. At a time like this, there's only one call to make. Terry West Plumbing, your trusted septic and sewer experts. From pump outs to inspections, repair, new installation, or for when it's really hitting the fan. Contact Terry West Plumbing today. Get only the best with Terry West. Visit terrywestplumbing.com.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy?
I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Rolling on. T. Lizzie's okay. Some of you have been asking in the chat. Some of you asked on the text there for all of our friends. He's all right. I think a little bewildered, like what the hell just happened, and oh, by the way, my weekend is effed. But I think he's going to be all right. We shall see. Mama next hour. I won head up last week, so it's back to 8. I know the vast majority of you are vehemently rooting against your boy and rooting for my mother, but I'm telling you, I'm on it this year. It ain't happening. She's 8 back. It may get worse this year. It could get worse as this year goes on. It's like a Florida State football season. Devolves into just ass if you're rooting against me this year with these picks. I'm telling you. Now, that could have been the temptation the football gods needed to punish. Could be. Could very well be. But I'm willing to taunt them right now. I feel like I got a pretty good handle on these things. Hey, some of you brought it up, and I want to talk about it, because I talked about it yesterday, and we all shared in the warm fuzzies and the goodness that was the video of Ethan Pritchard coming out of the rehab facility, the hospital there. And I can only imagine what it was today to see Ethan Pritchard visiting FSU's practice for the first time since the shooting. Buddy, I can't imagine that there was a dry eye in that room. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, vast majority in the chat certainly do, but we have a pretty large audience, and they may not know. But Ethan Pritchard was nearly killed after he sustained a gunshot wound to the head after the Alabama game. Wrong place, wrong time, case of mistaken identity, and he was shot and nearly died. He was later moved to, as you guys know, a rehabilitation facility in Jacksonville, Florida. He left that rehab center just yesterday, and he was back on the Florida State practice fields today, visiting with teammates and coaches. A bunch of photos. You can find them. I'm sure they're everywhere right now. I'll obviously plug our website, warchant.com. You can find them, I'm sure, on Seminoles.com. FSU football tweeted it out. I know I saw that as well. They just tweeted out "Welcome home" in Ethan's handle, and he was there, getting the love and the hugs and the support that you would suspect after going through something like that. That is, buddy, I'll be honest with you. So now that we're at this place, we're at a place where we see Ethan, we see him interacting with players and coaches and family and friends, and we see that he has his wits about him, and that he is obviously he's still got a long way to go. He's still got to get back into we hope he can manage to get back to a place where he's able to walk again, and then hopefully someday run and be strong and athletic and all the things he was prior to this tragedy. Everybody is rooting for that. Of course they are. But I will tell you, in the days that followed that shooting, and we're not allowed to necessarily, I don't feel like it's necessary to divulge medical information of an individual who's going through something like this. So we were all desperately trying to find out. Everybody was, of course. Is he going to make it? Is he going to be okay? All of those things. And every time I made a call or found out from somebody who would be in the know, who was a friend of the family, who knew something more than I could from afar about Ethan's situation, in the early days, guys, there was a belief that he wasn't going to make it. There was a belief that he was probably not going to be able to survive his injuries. That's how serious this was. And then after he made it through that period where it was a induced coma to get the swelling down in the brain, there was still a thought that he wouldn't be able to survive without the help of the machines, all of those things. They had initially tried to see if he could breathe on his own, if his body would operate effectively on its own. And those first tests did not go well. And it's at that point you begin to think, I don't know that he's going to make it out the other side. Moreover, if he does, what kind of life is he going to be able to live? Is he going to be, let's just be frank about this, when you hear of a head injury, head trauma, a gunshot wound to the head, you begin to think, well, is he going to be a vegetable? Is he going to have any sort of life? Is he going to be able to function and be anything close to what he once was? So why do I bring that up? Obviously that's weighty material, that's tough stuff, that's morbid, it's sad, it's all of the things, but I bring that up because that was what seemed to be the stark reality of his situation. And so to see him yesterday, albeit unable to walk, but operating the motorized wheelchair the way that he did, and the smile on his face and his ability to ring the bell and shake hands and hug people around him and to know where he was and to seemingly have a pretty good grasp on the situation, then to find out he's here today visiting teammates at the practice facility and interacting with coaches and his teammates. Holy moly. I mean, that is something to celebrate, something to hold on high, something to guide you into the weekend feeling pretty damn good about where this is headed and what's possible. Certainly I'm hoping from that standpoint. Touched on this yesterday as I pivot. A couple of you asked in the chat. I'll probably do some extra chat stuff today, so fire away if you'd like. Whether or not I would want Tommy Castellanos back next year. And I would say it depends on, first of all, I would say no. I didn't want Tommy to begin with. I said that from day one. Now, I conceded that if your decision was to bring in Gus Malzahn to run an offense and run his offense specifically, it operates vastly more efficiently and better than it does without obviously when you don't have a mobile quarterback, it doesn't really work all that well, Gus's offense. So if you're going to run this, you got to maximize Tommy, the strengths that Tommy has. Tommy possesses, when he's healthy, elite level escapability and running ability. He's a problem. And, even with the inconsistencies in the passing game, he's not terribly accurate, doesn't read a defense all that well, isn't great with anticipatory throws. Even with those weaknesses in his game, if he's armed with the elite athleticism to make plays with his legs and set up some more, shots downfield that are going to be wide open based on the fear of what's happening with his legs, then I thought, okay, well, maybe you'll get the best version of Tommy. Gus needs this. Fine, let's see what it is. But you get to the Alabama game. It happens. He plays great. It's a wonderful feeling. We're riding high. But your fear has always been with him as an undersized guy. Hey, look, it's quite possible that he's always going to get hurt if he maximizes running, if that's what he's going to be. So at the end of the day, I don't think you can bank on that. The other part of the problem is if we're making changes, if Florida State is to make changes, well, whomever the coach is going to want to bring in his own OC and his own DC, and he's going to want to bring in his people. And if that's going to happen, there's no way that Tommy comes back. I wouldn't think. Again, definitively, I wouldn't want him back. I think he's limited. I don't think he's a very good passer. I don't think he's very accurate. I think because of his stature, he's unable to see certain things behind the line of scrimmage. It's always the problem with shorter quarterbacks. He makes plays that'll make you, fawn in the moment, but he also a lot of times can't deliver on some of the easy stuff. Wide open guys, crossers in the middle of the field, accurate passes down the field to guys who are open. We saw it in the Clemson game. I mean, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I'm not wanting to go through that experience again. So I would say no. And I'll tell you something else. That if the number is rumored to be 800,000 or thereabouts, 800,000 to $1 million. I mean, what world are you paying Tommy Castellanos close to $1 million? It's in a world in which you're 4-5, because that's not what you do. That is not what you do. You could go down a list of at least 30. I'll be generous, just 30. I think more, but you could go down a list of 30 quarterbacks operating at the helm of college football offenses all around the country right now that are a far cry better player than Tommy Castellanos, and who are, perhaps making less money. So no, I'm not doing that. It may end up being a moot point. I think it will end up being a moot point because I think Florida State's going to make changes. You all want to know when? So do I. I don't have an answer for that one. I haven't had an answer for that one, and it's frustrating. You feel a bit like in limbo, and that's what kind of controls that feeling of desperation and hopelessness. But until we know, everything else will seem somewhat on the back burner. A win gets you to 5-5. A win is a 2-game home winning streak in the ACC. A win is whatever. It beats a loss. That's how we're looking at games these days. It's boiled down to, it really doesn't have an impact on anything. Doesn't really have an impact on the league. Doesn't really have an impact on the season and the way you define it at this point. But it beats a loss. So, hey, let's get to 5-5. And somebody asked it earlier, does it make a difference? Will it make a difference? Will winning that game, and then let's say you beat NC State on the road and you beat – No, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. And I think more and more people have come around to that point. I think more and more people have come around to the understanding that, hey, man, this ain't it. And it goes back to the inability to recruit. Because even if you run this and you go 7-5 and you wanted to make some argument that ignored a lot of the problems by saying, hey, look, man, they went 2-10 last year, 7-5 is a step up with a win over Alabama. Why not just have him back and see if we can keep the upward mobility? I'd say no, because he's not recruiting and he doesn't recruit. And you're not going to get to where you want to go with this guy at the helm. It's just not going to happen. We've seen enough evidence. It's 6 effing years. There's nothing there. But there is something here. My man, Shannon Young. LoansForKnowles.com. Just start with that. Go there now. Type it in, LoansForKnowles.com. How about it? I believe in my cohort, and my buddy over here, John, knows this. Let's go find this thing right now. There it is. Who is this individual? We get a Casey Capice who said, hey, I'm ready to sign up. LoansForKnowles.com. I hear about you, Shannon. Your boy Jeff's pimping you. I want to find out. Yep, boom, approved, just like that. There's been a bunch. There has been a bunch. So if you're in the market and you want unwavering commitment, you want 20-plus years of experience, you want a guy who is as hard a worker as you'll ever find, integrity-laden, a ton of energy, very, very passionate and knowledgeable, then you want Shannon Young going to war for you, trying to get you that loan for your dream home. Go to loansforknowles.com. That is loansforknowles.com. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
This is G. Deckerhoff. In 1979, my friend Guy Moore opened his first store. Over 45 years later, Garnet and Gold is still providing the Seminole Nation with unique ways to show their spirit. As the last locally owned FSU merchandise source in Tallahassee, we're proud to be a part of the Florida State experience and this community. If you're a Seminole like me, this is your store. Garnet and Gold. Go Noles.
Hey, Noel fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Here's the cold, hard truth. Your body needs more than you're giving it to stay healthy. And now it's easier than ever with Vigor, the all-new cold plunge tub from Hot Spring Spas. Available only at Pinch a Penny Pools and Spas in Tallahassee. Cold plunges reduce muscle soreness, boost mood, improve sleep, and so much more. It's not just a trend, it's science-backed wellness. And now you can have it in your own home. Ready to feel alive again? Pinch a Penny has the exclusive home use solution. Visit us on Capitol Circle Northeast and take the plunge.
I'm Shannon Young with Cross Country Mortgage. And today, I want to talk straight with you about debt, especially high interest rate credit cards, and why you shouldn't just sit there and hope the situation will fix itself. Nationwide, the average credit card interest rate is hovering around 21% or higher. The total revolving credit card debt in the U.S. is over $1 trillion and rising. If you're carrying a credit card balance, you're likely paying hundreds of dollars each month just in interest, without even touching your principal. But here's the good news. You can act. What I help folks do is refinance their home or use a home loan strategy to consolidate high interest debt into something with a much lower interest rate and one payment. It puts you in control. So if you own a home or you're buying one, let's talk about turning your house into a tool so you can stop the credit card interest trap and you can stop feeling like you're paying lots without making progress. Go to loansforknowles.com. That's loansforknowles.com, and let's get you on a smarter financial path and get out of the high interest grind.
Love to compete on the dartboard? Then it's time to head to the CP. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is Tallahassee's premier dart bar, featuring steel tip boards and soft tip internet play. The Corner Pocket hosts leagues and tournaments regularly. Just check out their social media to find a time that works for you. And in between games, grab a pint and a bite in the cool AC or enjoy yourself outside on the deck. Whether you want to catch a game or start one of your own, the place to be is the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Your Sports Flash update on Real Talk 93.3 in Tallahassee.
Miami Heat will play in New York tonight at Madison Square Garden. They'll take on the Knicks. The Heat 7-5. Knicks are 7-4. Magic are home tonight. They'll entertain the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are just 1-10 on the season. Magic come into the matchup with a 6-6 record. Florida Panthers yesterday, winners over the Washington Capitals 6-3. Panthers scored 3 goals in the third period. Florida has won back-to-back games at 3 of 4. The Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning set to play tomorrow in Sunrise. In the NFL on Sunday, the Dolphins play the Commanders in Spain. Both teams are 3-7. The Buccaneers head to Buffalo to meet the Bills, and the Jaguars host the Chargers. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm John Thayer, Real Talk 93.3.
A holiday meal is more than food. It's family gathered close, the joy of laughter, and the comfort of knowing you belong. But for too many of our neighbors, that tradition feels out of reach. ABC 27 Gives Back needs your help feeding our neighbors. The annual turkey drive benefiting Second Harvest kicks off November 17th with frozen turkey drop-offs November 20th. Your generosity ensures families across the Big Bend can share a Thanksgiving meal together. Go to WTXL.TV to help families in need.
This is Thomas Dickens from the Law Office of Marie Maddox. I'm a combat veteran and a former JAG. I've fought for our country, and now I fight to get you your back wages. If your boss has ever shorted your paycheck or withheld your overtime, you need to call me now. 850-383-4800. 850-383-4800. Or find us online at maddoxlaw.com. Offices in Tallahassee.
As we get older, health starts to mean more. It's not just about adding years. It's about making every year feel good. That's why Capital Health Plan created the Center for Healthy Aging, where care is centered around what matters most to you. Through your personalized My Vitality plan, adults 55 and up get one-on-one guidance for strength, nutrition, and lifelong wellness so you can stay active and confident in every stage of life. Call 850-854-8566 to learn more.
Pay-per-view fights can ring up big bills, especially since in the Octagon there is one every few weeks. That's why the Seventh Hill Tap Room right downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill carries every single fight. Plus, unlike most pay-per-view bars, there's no cover charge. And drink specials too, like $3 select domestic beers and more. And if you enjoy international soccer, Seventh Hill opens early. $2 mimosas on Sundays, anyone? The Seventh Hill Tap Room, 2475 Appalachie Parkway. Just downstairs from Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
I'll never forget
that moment.
As long as I live. My first call up ever as a member of the National Guard.
When we got to the armory, they briefed us on the wildfires. They were getting dangerously close to homes.
Helicopters were going out to drop water on the fires. Guys in the unit were preparing for firefighting with local fire crews. At that moment, I got my first taste of just how important the Guard is to my community.
See how the Guard can be an important part of your life at NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Florida National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey everybody, this is
Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio Warchant TV on Elevations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the Jeff Cameron Show, and an eventful one. As things turned quickly moments before the show, I'll update you on that in just a second. Hey, things don't slip through the cracks around here. I saw that bum Bama Nation in the chat banned his sorry ass within seconds. Just because my producer's not here doesn't mean I ain't paying attention. And I might note to that individual, 3117 with your bitch ass. So, hey, look. That's the way it works. The frustration, he was looking to circle back. It's over. It's all right. Also, Florida State's won 3 national championships. So to say that you're never going to win anything, well, that's dumb. They've won a lot. They've won a lot. And it'll happen again. Question is, who's going to be the architect? The question is, who's going to be the guy? And when will we know it? When will we know it? So real quick updating here. I'm solo today. I'm not solo. John's operating the ones and twos, as they say. But in a pinch, he had to do it. And that's because our boy Tom just got into a car accident on Monroe. And it's unfortunate, but he's okay. That's what matters most. Car's effed. Car's effed. He's fine. Car's effed. So that's a hell of a way to begin your weekend. Total your car. Not him. Not his fault. Somebody else hit him. And he said, get you some on a Friday, T. Lizzie. And I got a call 1 minute from the start of the show. Hey, I just got into a car. I could hear the sirens. I just got into a car accident. Me, are you all right? Yeah, I think I'm okay. Good. Need me to come see you? No, we're good. Okay. I hear the emergency personnel go, can you open the door? I'm like, Tom, go take care of business. I'll handle the show. John, you're up. So we're making it work, and it's fun, having a good time. Yesterday, I had a chance to talk to Luke Laux. Apparently, that interview went well. I thought it did, too. A lot of people listen, a lot of downloads, a lot of hits, a lot more people this time of year starting to care about basketball a little bit more than they did, the last few years. And look, let's all admit it, as much as it hurt us, as much as it bothered us, bottom line is those last few years with Ham, it was all over but the shouting, and we knew it. And so you had a situation where you kind of felt indifferent. And again, I warn of the effects of apathy in anything, but that's what was setting in. So Luke had a real challenge for himself, and he has a real challenge for himself because he had to come in, he had to put together a staff on the fly, had to try to figure out how to flip a roster and what could you get. And I think one of the great challenges when you start a new job at a place like this, it's a lot different than when you come here as a football coach. It's interesting. We're going to be looking at these two things now because I think there'll be a new football coach here. What happens is when you come here, when you're at Florida State and you're a football coach, because of the cachet, because of the successes, because of the years of excellence, despite what's happening now and the inconsistencies of these last 10 years, and that's putting it mildly, Florida State's brand is still huge. Florida State has the 9th most watched game of the year this season. And there are some other ratings metrics that show that they are consistently, again, perennially, no matter the record, one of the most watched brands in all of college football. I know this because of friends at ESPN, where I used to work, who would point out, internally, the office memos and the production rooms, they all know the brands that sell, the games that are going to sell. It's funny. It's also why sometimes we lament the fact that you're like, oh, great. Prime time again, huh? We're not any good. We got to play in prime time. Great. But people still want FSU now. I can't promise they will forever. You're going to have to straighten this out and get this together here with the quickness. But you can't undo, especially at such an important time in the history of college football, all those years of having built that cachet at a time where the television audience was growing by leaps and bounds in the world of college football. That's one of the great legacies of Bobby Bowden, is the victories and the building of a championship program at just the right time. You didn't build it in the 60s. You built it when TV was exploding. And so this brand resonates, and that's why we get mad, because it's not to the standard. The wins and losses aren't where they need to be, but you know that at a place like this that has that, somebody who's got it together can come in and flip it quick, and it's a beautiful thing. So we look at any coach coming into Florida State and we say, all right, well, look, man, you don't get forever to get this fixed. Not with this landscape, not with what we are these days, not with the ability to cash in on the brand that is Florida State in the region of the country that is as talent-rich as this region is. Whereas basketball, it is the opposite. With basketball, they're poor. It makes me sad. It makes me mad. It frustrates me to no end. But honestly, that's the deal. Basketball is pretty brutal. They don't have the money for basketball. They don't spend the money for basketball. And so you're operating at a very low budget, and it's going to be difficult for Luke, no matter the, enthusiasm he has for the job, no matter the joy that he attacks the job with, no matter the zeal that he has for, the task at hand. I think Luke is like a lot of very competitive people. Not only do competitive people like to compete, it's that simple. And if you like to compete, if you engage in competition, you don't spend a lot of time thinking about what you don't have. You spend a lot of time thinking about how it is you maximize what you do have and get the most out of what you have. And then you'll turn your attention, once you've done that, to getting all these other things built back up to a place where it'll allow you to take yet another step forward and compete at an even higher level. And I brought it up yesterday. That's why I thought Luke was a good hire. He understands that. He gets that. He understands that he's going to have to be very, 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 very creative in the way that he goes and brings in dollars and gets people's attention. And I think style of play, the ability to recruit, cashed in yesterday on a huge recruiting class that is absolutely mind-boggling when you consider the people that were after those players that said yes yesterday. It's remarkable. Or the day before, sorry. It's remarkable. So, I don't know. Maybe a little bit is created. I know this. I often say, you guys have heard me say it, when I do macro things and I talk big picture, I love living here in Tallahassee. It's a great place to raise a family. It's near and dear to my heart. It's my home. It's my home. Tallahassee is. After a while, once you go away, like when I first went away to this place, ETSU, and then eventually found my way to Tallahassee, and when that happens, at some point, you wake up one day, we all know time flies, and you're like, oh man, I've lived here longer than I lived in the place that I called home, where I grew up, which in many ways is instilled in us and will always be our home, our formative memories, some of our experiences, which propels us to wherever we go in our adult life. But once you've been in a place long enough, after a while, when you go visit that place, your childhood home, you long to be back at your home, which is now the established place you've lived the longest. And that for me is Tallahassee. Well, I bring that up because I love it when Florida State's great. I love it when Florida A&M is great. I root for Tallahassee State College and whatever it is they're doing to do great. I want that to be a thing. I want all the schools and all of it. I want it to be great. And when that happens, it lifts everybody up. Local businesses, people's moods, all of those things are affected by the success stories of local restaurants and, and successful football and baseball and basketball programs and universities and state colleges and all that stuff, high schools. So I want that to be the case. I kind of root for everybody. I try to wish that into being. And it was really cool when we were kicking ass in basketball and watching the way that affected a community, way that you would kind of view the transition from Florida State football season into Florida State basketball season and not see the massive drop-off that we've seen over the last few years. So being up against that and trying to get that turned around and trying to kickstart that thing is something that bears monitoring. It is tough work. I am excited about it. But you got to have his attitude towards the job, I do believe. I don't know that he's going to be successful. I suspect that he will. There are some early signs that suggest he's going to be. I'm certainly rooting for that, but I don't know it. It is a tough task. But if he gets to where, obviously, he gets some momentum going, and there's a chance that he will, then you're looking at a return to those days. You're looking at a return to those times. You're looking at the moment that we hadn't experienced just a few years back. It wasn't that long ago. That's the hope. That's the dream. That's the wish. That's the feeling. Look at this guy. Alive and well. You all right, buddy?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
Let's give a look, everybody. Let's get you back up. There he is.
Hello. Just got sideswiped, T-bone, whatever you want to call it.
Well, you're walking well. I don't see any blood on you.
No, thankfully it was the it hit the. I'll actually put the photo up on the. I'll upload it later. But driver's side rear door, I was able to get out of the way. And
did you? Oh, so you saw it coming?
At the last second, I had no chance. So it was emergency vehicles going through an intersection. I had the green light, and I got hit. So
did you? But you didn't hear them? Did they have their sirens?
I mean, I heard them, but it's that intersection of Callaway. You know, you go up the hill, you can't see. And I'm worried about, because also the intersection, because it goes up the hill, you're looking for the other people who will make the left, and it's running right into them. Right into the kisser. Thankfully, it was the rear. So I've got little raspberries on the side, like I just slid into third base. Man, the adrenaline is still kicking a little bit. It's starting to get sore on the left side.
Oh, well, get it out there. Say it louder.
Oh, stop. Yeah.
Say it louder.
But it's
You think maybe there's a fracture? It could be.
I'm listing myself as questionable for my 8:08 tee time tomorrow morning. We'll see.
That could be a broken hip.
Buddy, come on now.
Could be you got real issues.
I went for a ride, I'll tell you that. It was about a 1-8. I went around and I said some choice words.
You should have walked in here with a neck brace on, like the guy in the chat just said. That would have been hilarious. Yeah. Like, I made it.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, this is terrible pain. How am I to survive?
So the tow truck's about to get the car, and I have my golf bag. I made sure to take that. And
your golf bag is very important.
The clubs made it.
Clubs, no damage. Towels.
Yeah, I got a few. I made sure to get my favorite golf balls, because I usually I have this little section off in the trunk. So I was like, well, what do I need for tomorrow? And so I made sure I got my shoes, at least one pair. So, but I don't know. One of the community officers told me that this he's seen it take as long as 7 months with the city to get some of this stuff done. I'm like, man, I ain't having 7 months without a car, my car.
Well, no, you're not. But you also have insurance.
I do.
So you'll get a free rental, buddy.
I'm sure they're. Well, I don't know the process. I'm sure their insurance.
We'll go through this. Yeah, you're going to be good. But people are noticing that you look a little shorter.
I said some things that would get us fined as I saw that it was, of course, like an F-350. It was a giant service truck.
And you're like, no, are you kidding me?
So I did the move where I tried to make the reverse C to try and get out of the way, and I went for a ride. I'll put the photo up during the break. I'll email it to myself so y'all can see it.
I'm just glad you're okay, man.
By about, I'd say it was 6-7 feet. I'm good. If it was front side, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would have been okay. So,
well, you are okay. That's all we care
Happy
about.
Radio. What were you talking about?
No, I was talking about the challenge for Luke Laux. Actually, it was a riveting segment until you interrupted. But
you were on the roll. I could see it.
Well, no, we were talking. I was talking a little bit about the challenges that Luke has and how they're very different than when whomever it is we're going to bring in here as a football coach. Now, a football coach will come in, and I'm not even talking about roster personnel. I'm talking about the cachet and the reputation and the ability to acquire talent pretty quickly. Football has been down. The last 10 years have not been good. But because Florida State is a legendary program and was built in an era that really saw the TV explosion, they resonate to this day. One of the highest rated draws in all of college sports. Top 10 this year yet again. And even in the midst of a 4-5 campaign, and this is true of last year's 2-10 season, top 10 in terms of viewership. And people could not look at the car wreck, excuse that. But they had to see it. Whereas Luke is taking over a program that doesn't resonate, that doesn't have a lot of momentum. The last 3 years have caused apathy to set in, have been difficult, but he has the right attitude for it. And I think he has a modern approach for it. And I was saying that the numbers did pretty well yesterday for the interview. If you guys missed the Luke Laux thing, go watch that. He's really good at utilizing his time when he comes on with me and other interviewers I've seen, because he understands he's got to sell it, but he has a message he believes in, and that resonates. And I think it's clear that it does with players, because look who they just signed. I mean, you got a guy, let that sink in, relationships or not. And he certainly had an in with some of these guys because of prior relationships that he had with either family members or coaches. And so that helps. But everybody has some connection like that with somebody else in the world of college basketball. Doesn't mean they always get the guy that they want to get. When you are getting a guy and holding off schools like Purdue, who just beat Alabama in a great game, 87-80 last night, whatever that was, that's a great game. Purdue wanted Bass. Purdue wanted some of these guys. So did, for that matter, we've seen North Carolina and others. So the fact that he was able to hold off those types of programs, who certainly have more funds to give these players, is a really good sign. And I said, I don't know that he's going to succeed, but I suspect that he is. There are a lot of telltale things that tell me that he's got the right mindset for this, that he's got the right attitude about it. He's not going to spend a ton of time on the things they don't have. He'll make mention of it. He'll note it. But then he'll tell you why it doesn't matter. He'll tell you why it is that if you're a recruit, it doesn't matter. You're going to get the money on the back end, and here's how. Bam. And here's the plan. And so I think that's going to continue to go well. I also think that it bodes well, given, speaking of aforementioned Alabama, they went on the road for that exhibition game. They treated that game like it was a real game. So did Alabama, for that matter, when they saw Florida State was there to play. And back and forth they went. It was a really, really fun-paced game. And Florida State's in it to the end. That was a good sign. I think that gave them a shot of confidence, no doubt. To go down to Gainesville in a game that definitely does matter and is as intimidating an environment as you'll play in, and to be a point down with 15 seconds to play on the line with a chance to tie, look, man, no moral victory's got you. But, buddy, that says a lot about the toughness and the overall skill that is there, that is able to compete. I have a suspicion that in ACC play they're going to do well.
I think so too, yeah, because they're going to go through so many more tests. It's not just those two schools, and it's like, all right, we'll see if they've learned anything. I mean, now you're going to be playing A&M and Georgia and Houston. I mean, and Dayton even you're playing. So you're going to be tested very, very well before you take on North Carolina in your first ACC game. Then your first ACC home game is January the 3rd, and that's against Duke at 3:45. That atmosphere here is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it will.
Especially if they play this consistently. They don't have to come away with all the wins. And frankly, they might not even have to come away with any against those power teams. But if they're this entertaining and they prove to be that mentally tough, then that Duke game is kind of one of your bubble games for the season. It's like, do you want to have a ticket to an at-large? Score this win right here. So there will be urgency in the building. I do think, he was speaking with a little bit of urgency yesterday, though, as well, because he knows that there was some fortunate relationships that paved the way for a couple of these yeses. He was more than happy to be transparent about that. You've got to parlay those fortunate breaks
into wins
so that you can repeat this process, especially if you're not going to have a ton of money. But you heard him yesterday. He's asking for the money from the fan base. He's like, all right, I'm going to get us off to a good start here, but we're going to need some more support as this thing goes along if we want to have anything close to sustainability.
No, I'm with you. I do want to say, really, I know what you meant there, but he did have some fortunate breaks, but again, you hold off Purdue not because fortunate breaks. I think you have to have a real game plan.
Sure,
you have to have a real.
Well, that's the real one. You could see it. You could hear it in his energy. But the Ponder thing. I mean, you got a brother of the coach and the owner of the academy, or whatever, the foreperson of the academy. And in the other instance, you've got a great relationship with Michael Fly that was pre-existing. Now you're going to bank on Michael Fly kicking ass in the state of Florida.
You brought Michael Fly in for that reason.
Right. I'm not saying that they're not good at it. What I'm saying is, in this case, if you're going to get started, you had a couple of situations that were very nice.
Parlayed it well.
Set up for you, and they were not quite spikes, but they were almost bump set spikes, and he did it. But now, from this point forward, it might get a little bit more difficult to get some of those high-profile yeses if you want them in threes every year. You want 3 of them? Well, we're going to have to pay for a couple of those.
The winning will be the key. It always is. Relationships, good starts, momentum. Got to win. And then you got to sustain that winning and build upon the successes of the previous year and the previous class, and build and build and build. You will likely never be anything close to a Duke or North Carolina over sustained periods of time, because we don't emphasize basketball in that way. We do not give rev share money to that end. So you have to define your terms and what's possible. He's going to tell you winning the conference championship is possible. And he's going to tell you, you know how I know? I did as a player. And I'm going to say, okay, but you also know what you're up against. And sustaining that isn't possible at Florida State unless you build a bedrock of great success over the course of, say, a decade. And then maybe the funds are there because people realize you're a thing, the way it did for soccer or softball to some extent, right?
Yeah, I think, that's kind of what I'm trying to get at here. It's just, I think if you're looking for more immediate returns to have another class like this, you're going to need some cash to do it. I think you'll be able to land a player or 2 that's in the top 100 every year because you're good at this.
Mm-hmm.
But you want 3?
Yeah.
You want 4? I'm going to need some dollars to pull that off. I got the photo. You want to see it?
Oh, pull it up. Yeah. We'll take a break after that.
We'll show you how close it was. Thankfully, it was the rear door, but there you go. There it is.
Woo! Rear door.
Yeah, man. I gunned it at the very end to try to avoid the thing, and I think it made it by about 4 feet.
Oh, what was it like for the airbags? I've never had an airbag situation.
So those are the curtains, I guess they're called, the curtain airbags.
Yeah, I've never had it.
Those were okay. Situation. They were steamy. I've had an airbag situation years ago. where my fingers got singed pretty good from the actual steering wheel airbag. But the only ones that deployed were over my shoulder, the curtain airbags.
Did it knock your face, or were you already knocked into the other seat?
So my hat and my glasses got knocked all the way to the back of the car. I couldn't find them. Like, they got knocked all the way back. And thankfully, the car was good enough to be able to pull out of the intersection, or else they'd still be backed up on Monroe, going out towards I-10.
How'd you get here? You didn't walk with your golf clubs.
No, a cop gave me a ride.
Oh, I would hope so. Yeah. That was nice of him.
If he wasn't supposed to, he was a community service officer. I don't know. But yeah.
He did. Good job, buddy. No, I think they're supposed to help you out. That's community service. You got a stranded driver who just got hit by.
You're just up the hill. I'm like, because I didn't want to leave my clubs. I didn't want to leave. I had a box of something that is for Thanksgiving for my family. Like, I could go get it at the tow lot later, but who wants to Uber to and fro a tow lot if you don't need to? So.
Nobody.
Yeah.
All right, so it is. We'll take a break. Come back. Mom will be here. She lost last week to me. I'll tell her about it, and then we'll pick the games. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Budget Blinds of Tallahassee is your local window covering experts. They do it all: blinds, shades, drapery, shutters, even home automation. And they'll be there with you from the design to the measuring to the installation. Budget Blinds is with you every step of the way.
Hello, I'm Gary, the local owner of Budget Blinds of Tallahassee. Let us help you with your unique window treatment needs. Call us at 668-4835 for a free in-home consultation, or find us online at budgetblinds.com/Tallahassee.
Barry knows cool, he's keeping you comfortable. Barry knows cool, he can put them to the test. Barry knows heating and air conditioning, keeping you comfortable. Is what Barry does best.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you.
This is Tyler from Barano Heating and Air. Now you can schedule an appointment, purchase or renew your service agreement, or pay your bill from your mobile device. Any day, anytime, anywhere. When you turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license number CAC 1816186.
Barry knows heating and air conditioning.
Water is your home's worst enemy. It finds cracks, soft spots, and weaknesses. But not on our watch. At Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing, we're veteran-owned and built different, driven by detail and the pursuit of excellence. We install seamless gutters, underground drainage, and waterproofing systems that don't fail. Because when you live with discipline, water doesn't stand a chance. Gutter Solutions and Waterproofing. Visit guttersolutions.net. With us, it's personal. A roof isn't decoration. It's your home's first line of defense. At GSWP Roofing, we treat every build like it's mission critical. We're GAF Master Elite certified, led by a former Marine, and we don't cut corners. We execute with discipline, precision, and materials that hold the line. Storm after storm, year after year. Repairs, replacements, full installs. This is roofing done by the book. No excuses, no shortcuts. GSWP Roofing. Online at gswproofing.com. With us, you're covered.
Number CCC 1335048.
And here come the leaves. Thousands of them falling fast, covering every inch of the yard. But wait, who's this rushing in? It's the Lawn Johns with the ultimate fall cleanup blitz. From clearing leaves to fresh pine straw and mulch, the Lawn Johns dominate the field, your yard, so you can focus on what matters. Grilling, chilling, and cheering on your team. Don't let leaves sack your game day fun. Call the Lawn Johns today and win the battle of the backyard. The Lawn Johns, your lawn, our game.
Games for Less, Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used games, as well as new and used consoles like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari 2600, PS4, and PS5. You name it. Locally owned and operated since 1994, trade-ins are not only welcome, but Games for Less pays more for your trade-ins than the big chain stores. That's not all. Games for Less now buys and sells new and used vinyl records to boot. George loves the Beatles, by the way. Reserve all the new releases today at Games for Less, conveniently located in the Walmart Supercenter Plaza on Appalachia Parkway.
From the championship stage to coaching change and everything in between, Warchant.com remains your home for the best FSU football coverage in the business. Brutally honest columns and features, market-leading multimedia presence across video and podcast, the largest FSU fan community with a staff that combines for over 100 years of experience covering the Noles. When change comes, Warchant.com is your home for analysis from every angle. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source. Sign up today.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Jeff Cameron Show, Libations, Friday, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Been an eventful day. We've got Mama set to join us. That means you, Tommy Lang, have to cue it up. Let's get to.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, we had just a one-game difference a week ago, and yours truly won it. Mom, was that Baltimore, Minnesota?
Yes, that was. I knew that was an iffy pick, but anyway, I don't know. Minnesota was doing so well, and I don't know, Lordy, what's happened. But anyway, I've fallen off the Minnesota bandwagon. Although I think I did pick them this week again. I don't know. I just can't pick them this year. I don't know. I have just gone nuts.
Having a rough go. Well, we both have New England from last.
I had a rough go. Now I'm back to 8 again. Oh, Lordy.
We both had New England last night. That's a no-brainer.
Yes, that was, well, every time I think it's a no-brainer, then something happens. But anyway, yes, we did pull that one out.
Easily. All right, here we go. Washington's at Miami.
Yeah, I've got Miami.
I do as well. Should note that game is actually in Madrid, Spain, for what it's worth. But that's at 9:30 in the morning in Madrid, Spain. But I, too, took the Dolphins. All right, Carolina at Atlanta.
Yeah, I took Carolina. I can't remember what my logic was about that.
Well, I can give you one. The last time they played, Carolina beat Atlanta 30-0.
Oh, well, maybe that was it. Maybe I just forgot about that. Well, anyway, Carolina's been doing better, so I picked Carolina.
Well, Carolina helped us out last week by losing to the sorry-ass Saints 17-7, so I don't know that they've been doing that much better. You know who kind of sucks? Michael Penix.
Yeah, and isn't that crazy? Because we thought he was going to be really good. Last year when they put him in there, he was like a house of fire.
Well, you thought he was going to be better than I thought he was going to be. I'll just put it that way. But yes, he's better than Kirk Cousins, but that ain't saying much at this stage of Kirk Cousins' career. I'll take Atlanta. One last effort. I'll take Atlanta. You might get me on this one, but I think they avoid being swept. Yeah.
Lord knows I need it.
All right, Tampa Bay's at Buffalo.
I know. Oh God, this just hurt. I took Tampa Bay. I really am concerned about this, but I just want them to bounce back, and I think they're going to be mad. Now I know Buffalo's going to be mad because they lost 2, but Buffalo looked terrible. I mean, I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm sticking with my Bucks.
All right, I'll take Buffalo.
Oh, God, I knew you would.
I'd like to be wrong. I'd rather lose that game than win it. So if it happens that that's the case, that'll be fine. Me too.
I know.
Houston at Tennessee.
Oh, I think I took Houston, didn't I? Yes, Houston.
I did too. Terrible game. Chicago's at the Vikings.
Yeah, I took Minnesota. I bet you're going to take Chicago.
No, I'm going to take Minnesota.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
I'm not a believer in Chicago.
I took Minnesota, so I hope they're going to do better.
This is going to be a fun game, the next one that I tell you about, because Jameis Winston is getting the start for the New York Giants against the Green Bay Packers.
I know. Now, let me just tell you, this is full disclosure here. When I made my picks, for our big family and friends, I took Green Bay. But I want to tell you, the more I think about it, with Jameis starting, although I know, Lord knows, he'll probably throw 5 interceptions. But anyway, and then didn't they fire the coach there too? Now they got a new coach.
Well, they fired Daboll and they just have an interim coach. That's a better way of saying it. Yeah.
But I'm thinking that might give them some real energy.
Well, Jameis is either going to play great or terrible. So that's
right. There's no in between with him. I am really fighting with myself about changing my pick, on our picks and going with the Giants. But of course, every time I do that, it usually end well.
Yeah, I'm taking Green Bay, but I would love it if Jameis lit him up for 3 bills and 4 touchdowns. We'll root for it, but I'll take Green Bay along with you. Cincinnati's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
I guess. I think they stink. I'll take them as well, but I think they stink. The Chargers are at Jacksonville.
Chargers.
Yeah, it's interesting. Trevor kind of sucks. I think that's what the conclusion is, that Trevor kind of sucks. I'll go with the Chargers. They're a beat to hell. I'll pick them as well. Seattle at Los Angeles. That'd be the Rams in the game of the week. One of the games of the week, anyhow.
That is a really good game. I took the Rams.
I will too, but it's a toss-up. I will say Matthew Stafford's playing better than anybody in the league at quarterback right now.
Yeah, I really like him.
San Francisco's at Arizona.
Yeah, San Francisco.
It's a weird game, though, Mom. San Francisco's beat the hell. They've only got basically one guy, and he's at running back, and I don't know, but I'll take him because they're better than Arizona. Baltimore is at Cleveland. You're going to take Baltimore, me too. Kansas City at Denver.
Yeah. Now, I took Denver. I'm not sure why I did this either. I'm looking at my sheet, and
well, you're allowed to, they're not playing yet. You can change it.
I know I can. Denver is kind of there. I never know which Denver is going to show up. I think I took them because they're playing at Denver, and I always think Denver at Mile High is they're tough. So I'm keeping it. I'll keep it.
Did I lose her?
What?
Oh, I thought I lost you for a second. You're going to keep it with Denver?
I'm going to keep it with Denver.
The reason you took Denver is they've won 7 games in a row. Now, the reason not to take Denver is that all of them have looked like ass.
Well, I know. Well, that's the thing, but they keep winning. That's the thing, and it's by a point or in the last second or something like that. But it is true, but they're at home and everything. So and Kansas City, I know they're good, but they're not the Kansas City that they have been. So I took Denver.
I think Kansas City's going to kill them, and I'll take Kansas City to win by 3 touchdowns.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think Denver's BS. All right. Here we go. Detroit's at Philadelphia.
I know it. I took Detroit.
I am torn on this game. I am wrestling with this game. I
know. I wrestled with it too. I did. But I just I don't know. I think I took Detroit.
Fun game, man. What a fun game this is going to be.
Fun game.
I'll take Philadelphia. I think if I said Detroit, I wouldn't feel good about it. And I said Philadelphia, and I don't feel good about it. So there you go. I'll take Philadelphia. You've got Detroit. We got another one different. And then we've got
we got a lot different.
Yeah, and then we got Monday Night Football where we will not have a difference. I don't suppose. You're going to take Dallas over the Raiders?
I did take Dallas over the Raiders. Yes, bless Las Vegas's heart. But yes, I took Dallas.
All right, I did too. So Tommy, flash it on the screen for everybody. We got a bunch different. We do. We have a bunch different.
We have 4 different.
4. So I took Atlanta. I took Buffalo. I took Kansas City, and I took Philadelphia.
Yep, you did. You did. And you need to lose that Buffalo game, and Lord knows you need to lose Atlanta and Kansas. Well, anyway, if I did good in all of these, I could really make a huge comeback.
You could sweep and cut the lead in half. It would be a big, big weekend for you, buddy.
It would be a big weekend for me. I doubt that's going to happen, though. But anyway, I can dream.
You can. Mom, I love you with all my heart. I will talk to you tomorrow on your birthday.
All right. Thank you very much. Love you too. Everybody have a good weekend.
All right. Bye-bye, Mama.
Bye-bye.
Mom turns, I don't remember.
29.
I do remember. I just realized I didn't need to say that out loud.
29.
But whatever the age is that I'm not saying she's going to be, she acts 40. So it's fun to see. She loves to my mom still walks at warp speed everywhere we go. I'm like, Mom, your old age, if you fall. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
A marked Tallahassee Police Department vehicle collided with a vehicle. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Bright sunshine expected this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 76. Winds out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Lows around 47 tonight, clear skies. Daytime highs approaching 78 tomorrow. Sunny skies. Temperatures above average Sunday and Monday with highs in the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Currently 76.
Is your septic system talking? Well, when it hits the fan, it's no fun at all. And if it comes up from the ground just bubbling out of your land, man, you can guarantee that definitely ain't Texas tea. At a time like this, there's only one call to make. Terry West Plumbing, your trusted septic and sewer experts. From pump outs to inspections, repair, new installation, or for when it's really hitting the fan. Contact Terry West Plumbing today. Get only the best with Terry West. Visit terrywestplumbing.com.
Hey, Jeff, what's up, buddy? I was just thinking, they never tell you that when you grow up, one of the things that you'll miss are the games that you created with your friends in the neighborhood.
Oh, good days.
So I would have my buddy come over, and then we'd make up these games that were kind of like a hodgepodge of every game that you've ever played.
Kind of like the bikes we built.
Correct. Yes. And it's a grand experiment. In the beginning, nobody knows how to play the game, and you argue about what the rules are going to be. And in the end, everybody knows how to play the game. By the end of that summer, you know the rules, the neighborhood know the rules, and you play that game like it's the greatest game ever played.
And you still try to break the rules, right?
Oh, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But at the end, Eddie, you're never going to play it again, and you'll think about it the rest of your life.
And the best game you ever played was that game.
Never been a better one.
Hey, you want to have a Gordo Smash, Jeff?
I do. I'd like that. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
It's Jeff Cameron Show on Libations Friday. Tommy's gutting through it. My car is definitely
starting to get a little sore. Starting to kick in. We're going to go list ourselves as doubtful for golf now tomorrow. It's happening fast.
Bunch of weird things to have to consider. Their unmarked car, no visible sirens. So
yeah, I heard them. So I have a green light, and I hear them in the distance. And apparently, what they had done was you've got multiple lanes of traffic. It stopped, obviously, coming the other way. They go in the turn lane to get around it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that shortens the distance between me and them. And if you know anybody knows Callaway and Monroe, it's a weird intersection where
terrible intersection.
Where
come up over a hill.
You come up over a hill. So I'm looking across the way first because people make a left, assuming that there's nobody coming up across the hill. So I'm focused on that. I think I'm going to be okay as I go through. And the next thing I know, I see the grill of a Ford or whatever kind of truck it was, and I had no chance. So,
but you knew enough to gun it.
I knew enough to gun it. And well, because when I was 18 years old, the first day I drove to high school, I was coming back on US 19, which is a death trap of a road down in Clearwater in Tampa. And there was a school bus that almost hit me. It came across traffic, and I had to do the little swoopity-doo maneuver. And the swoopity-doo probably saved my shoulder today. So I'm thankful for that.
We're getting emails. People are proud of you for being here. First of all, Tom, I'm glad you're okay. I have no doubts you'll be sore tomorrow. Gene needs to give you an immediate raise, says Joey. We talk about how we need to be recruiting dogs to play here at FSU. Well, Tom Lang got T-boned by an F-350, got up in hitting position, shook it off, and still came to work. Tom Lang's a dog. Be good, you two. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Joey.
Gene at warchant.com. Send those all to Gene at warchant.com.
Oh, man. Luckily, we've got the pregame show for you. It's done.
Yes.
I think Tom would be too sore to engage in any pregame show.
I'd be pretty quiet in hour 3. If we had a live hour 3, I'd be very, very quiet. Yes.
We got to get some drugs in you, Tom.
I just took 4 Advil. I don't know. That's enough.
Got to get you some drugs in you, buddy. My goodness. We need a cornbread gummies is what we need. Yeah.
You know what? That's an excellent, excellent thing that you should definitely mention for sure.
Well, those THC gummies are, as well as the CBD gummies, or where it's at. You can save 30% right now if you were to go to cornbreadhemp.com/warchant. cornbreadhemp.com/warchant.
Those can help you relax in a situation like adrenaline crash after a T-bone accident.
I've got boxes of the cornbread hemp. Yeah. THC as well as the CBD. If you want to mix and match, I can bring a cocktail.
That's belief in a box.
I can do it. I can rise up as the pusher at Indigo tomorrow for everybody. Look at Cameron out here dealing. Oh, buddy. That game, by the way, I forgot. Back to the football for a second. Detroit Philly's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, did I see it correctly that Dan Campbell's now calling plays?
Well, he called plays last week, and he called them well. And, yes, he had grown frustrated with some things in his offense. He said, give me the damn headset. By the way, it's got to be a little disconcerting when you're the OC and your head coach says, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take over play calling this week, and then they light it up, and they're doing all kinds of creative, fun things, and you're like, oh, well, I forgot about that one. Now, it is, it's one thing to light up, say the Bucks or, the Packers or something like that. It's a whole nother to light up the Commanders. So, still, he did. They scored 44 points, and they could have scored more. They threw for 320. Gibbs ran for 142. Williams had 119 yards receiving. I mean,
we're in a really good place in pro football with running back skills and stardom.
Man.
There are so many.
There's 2 on the Detroit Lions alone.
That's
Montgomery's a stud as well as Gibbs.
You got Bijan. You got what Henderson's doing now. But, of course, Saquon is at the head of the class.
If Bucky could get healthy again, he's electrifying at running back.
Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, well, he's having a year for the ages. He right now has been the most consistent of all of them.
There are so many good running backs now in the league. It's good to see because for a while it was all quarterbacks and all receivers and some pass-catching tight ends as well.
The emergence of the tight ends across the board. It's almost in every good offense. There is, look at Laporta and guys like that. There's somebody like that on every really elite offense. That's where Cade Otton is a step below. He's good. He's a nice player. He's not an elite tight end. He doesn't change the way that teams have to defend you.
No, anytime I see the ball in the split second going to 88, I'm like, catch it. That is the ultimate sign of you're not elite. It's like, well, okay, make sure you do the routine thing, please.
The problem is we do that when the ball's being thrown to Mike Evans. So catch it, please.
If he's especially open, yes.
Yes. Or if it's 3rd and 9 and you need it.
If it's down the sideline and contested, I'm like, oh, he's got that. That's no problem.
Yeah, the acrobatic, unbelievable, can you believe he just made that catch, Mike Evans, exists. It 100% does, and it's guided him to what's going to be the Hall of Fame. So does the blank fingers that drops the easiest passes known to man.
One of the great catches last weekend in the pros. We all know about the Indiana catch in the college game.
I'm still watching.
Is Diggs at the fourth down at the end of the first half?
Yeah, and it's a hell of a.
It's such a low percentage play.
Yeah.
That's such a low percentage play.
It's a perfect ball by a very good quarterback.
That a-hole.
Yeah, it's a perfect ball. Like, really?
One of about 4.
You're going to put that there?
And if he makes only 3 out of the 4 perfect throws, we win the ball game.
Or we're in it, certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a toughie. By the way, so it should be mentioned, New England wins last night, obviously, beat the Jets. That's no great shakes. Anybody does, because, first of all, their starting quarterback throws for less than 100 yards a game all the time. He's an NFL quarterback, and he throws for less than 100 yards a game a lot. It's embarrassing. Anyhow, the Patriots quarterback is good. And it's pretty funny watching this team right now because he's getting better and better and better. But should be noted that that team is the first to 9. And I would guess that, because I feel this way, and I'm not a fan of a team in the AFC, and I'm not a fan of a team in that division. But I think if you're Buffalo, obviously if you're Miami, clearly if you're the Jets, you're asking yourself right about now, really? So the Patriots are going to take a whole 5 years off before reclaiming the throne? Thought we'd moved on from the New England Patriots after the better part of 20 years of whooping ass. And now we're going to have to watch this group be dominant again. They've got a superstar running back, an emerging star at quarterback, and a really elite head coach. Great. 5 years. That's all they gave you. They gave you 5 years to get it out of your system. You needed to go ahead and win it. Good on you, Buffalo. The rest of you chumps didn't step up and get your opportunity.
Well, in that list, did you mention Mac Hollins? Because I think I know that he's not a draft pick. He was with Buffalo, but he looks mighty comfortable in that system and rather imposing physically as a player.
Well, I'll tell you what they did do. They drafted Will Campbell last year. They drafted Travion Henderson last year. I mean, they drafted some dudes now.
Well, Will Campbell essentially said on the stage of the draft that night that he would die for his quarterback. Oh, man, I want that guy.
Will Campbell's interviews are the best. He's smart, hardworking, technically sound, gives a damn. By the way, they drafted Josh Farmer last year in the draft as well. 4th round. Old Josh plays. You know, this is we kind of knew he would.
Yeah. That was about consistency and motivation, but he was the more productive of the guys. Now, what's interesting is last year he took on a lot of the attention, and so therefore his stats weren't crazy. I think Daryl's had a good year.
Daryl's been fine.
Yeah. He's not the first-round pick that Mike Norvell said, don't come back unless you're going to be a first-round pick. Well, I don't know. But that's an NFL player right there. 100%.
Oh, he's an NFL player. He's a giant. Yeah. Can't teach that. And he does have enough explosiveness to his game that, And look, man, I can only imagine that when you get in that situation, the competition is so stiff that will bring out the toughness and the dog in him on a daily basis, because those guys are all paying. I mean, listen, they're all playing for a paycheck. And that second contract is what you're working towards. So you've got to ball out from day one when you get to the league if you're ever going to see the real money. And I imagine Daryl, when prodded with the possibility of making real money, will be a little bit different version of himself. Although I think he's played hard this year. I don't have a problem.
He's been fine schematically. He's not designed to go make a ton of plays. Now they wanted to
line
him up
blockers.
They wanted him to line up on the edge a little bit more than it ended up happening. But I think Juju Wynn's injury derailed some of those plans, and they also didn't have the depth that they wanted, that they envisioned that they could have. So but he's been doing his thing, man. This is a good week for him. I think for him, for Barker, I would have said Rawls if he was healthy, but for Earl Little, this is a get downhill, stop the run, be involved in the run game week, and be physical. That's the whole key here.
We're going to talk about it for the entirety of the next hour, but Tom, you're not kidding, man. Virginia Tech likes to run the ball on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. Virginia Tech wants to run the ball. They'd like not to have to pass the ball because the passer ain't all that good. He wants to run it. They want to run it. They're successful when they run it. You stop the run, we go a long way in calling this a night. No, Kev, appreciate you. Oh, sorry. I clicked you off there. I didn't mean to do that. Are we 100% sure it wasn't Norvell driving that car that hit T. Lang? Gritting his teeth saying, fire me after Stanford, he says. I'll show him. Laughing maniacally. He better know how to respond.
Climb out of that.
Better know how to respond. Oh, that's rich. Good job, no Kev. Yeah, it's casual conversation these days. You know, I'm not seeing nearly like I was after the Wake game. We saw all those. Well, maybe just added one more L on the plate. They're like, I have to back away. I cannot. That is just too many
your
L's.
Second ACC win in as many years.
I've had too many of these. I'm going to be stuffed. I cannot eat any more L's.
Well, and that's the whole thing. We understand. We understand that he's a likable cat. Don't care. Sorry. It was over a long time ago, baby.
Yeah.
You just didn't know it, maybe.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Final hour forthcomings. And as I said, it'll be a Warchant Game Day hour. You guys be well and hope to see you at Hotel Indigo tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Video posted 9 a.m. tomorrow on the channel, but the audio available now at realtalk93.com.
Perfect. Peace. Hey, this is for my homeowner friends out there. You know who you are. When you get your grass